guys, welcome back. This is Loudmouth Gaming as always, and today we're going to be having a very interesting sort of video. There's a lot of mods. Well, there's not a lot of mods. It's a bit of it half of it's going to be mods, right? So, right, let's put it into context, right? First, Matthew, thank you for the idea, because this idea has been rattling around in my brain for I don't know how long, and I'm only getting around to doing the testing now because it's a pain in the ass to do, quite simply. So it is. Trying to test this here has been a nightmare. But in fairness, you may be right. Matthew, you know who you are. And then I decided to stick it on Reddit to see what the community majorly thought. And the argument is, from what I can see, majorly it's the Val and the Jobo. But the reason why we're adding in the testing is because we want to throw the Dragonbone bow into the middle of it all. And the results are interesting. Now, for me to gain my results, I needed to have similarities in them. And I'm going to show you the builds that I used. So I did. Now, these builds are by no means perfect, but they are as good as I can get them, right? Now, I'm going to show you each and every build now. As you can see, we are currently on the Valbo. So we are. So I'll just take the Valbo out here and show you what the testing. I'll show you this build first. So what we have is we've got 253 damage. That's raw. 0 affinity and capped out our element. That's pretty much it, right? So we bounce over. We've got 3 dragon attack, 3 critical boost, 3 weakness exploit, 3 constitution, 2 attack boost, 2 evade extender, 2 tool specialist, that there's because it's a byproduct from the waste cloth that I'm using, 1 normal shots, 1 spread and power shots, 1 45 because I had a spare gem slot, 1 bow charge plus, as well as critical element. This is the Val build, so it is, and the stats are as follows. Now, if I go over and say switch over to say the Jobo, so yeah, the Jobo, right? So I'm going to show you it's the exact same, just small differentiations because you have to keep it some way balanced. 294 raw damage, 0 affinity, 270 dragon element. Over to the skills, we've got 4 critical eye to make sure that we have 0 affinity, to make sure that we're getting the most accurate results that we possibly can. We've got 3 weakness exploit, 3 constitution, 2 critical boost because it can't fit anymore onto the build, 2 evade extender, 2 tool specialist, 1 normal shots, 1 spread and power shots, and bow charge plus. It doesn't have fortify because I can't get fortify onto it because we need the critical eye. And we've got critical element as well. So that's that build. Now, if we bounce on over to the Dragonbone build, because the Nergi build and the Xeno build they can't catch up, and I'm being genuinely honest, they just can't catch up. Right, now, let's show you the raw. We've got 205 raw damage and 500 and motherfucking 50 dragon element, which is the entire reason I'm doing this. Key point: this bow does not have power coatings, and if it did have power coatings, this bow would be so goddamn broken it would be illegal. And it has affinity 0. It has got 0% affinity, right? We've got 5 dragon attack because that caps out our dragon attack. We've got 3 critical boost because why not? We've got 3 weakness exploit because why not? We've got 3 constitution, 2 attack boost, 2 evade extender, 2 tool specialist, 1 normal shots, 1 spread and power shots, 1 fortify because I've got a spare gem slot and I don't have an attack gel to put it into that spare gem slot, and bow charge plus. And it also has critical element as well. So these are the 3 builds that I have decided to test this here on, and I've been sitting and I've been running the numbers. So I ran the numbers by using the speedrun combo. Now, if I'm going to show you here real quickly, I'm actually just going to get off this build because it'll kind of destroy the actual whole surprise of it. So I'm going to switch over to the Sarah Coilbender just as a quick example, right? So, literally what the speedrun combo is now, bearing in mind, this is B on Xbox, is circle, R2, 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 and then circle again, right? So that there's a quick shot, a normal shot, normal shot, normal shot, then power shot. That's it. That is the combo that I am currently running all of my statistics off. So it is. That is what there's the combo that I use to get all my maths. And for the bows that had, because I have to bring in the power coatings into consideration because they are a damage type, I have to bring them in too. So I've got the numbers for non-coated power coatings. Non-coated, right? So for the Valbo, I've got the non-coated and then the power coatings. For the Jobo, I've got the non-coated, then the power coatings. And then for the normal bow, or for the Dragon Bone bow, because it doesn't have power coatings, and you'll find out why, we only have what we have. We only have the uncoated. I didn't try the close range because, in fairness, if I did test the close range, it would probably... Close range makes everything scary. Think of it like that there, right? So that there's the more or less brunt of it. So as I have all the numbers got, I have everything done. I'm going to go record a couple of matches, a couple of hunts, test it using each of the bows in their critical element state, and I'm going to run these over the numbers, right? Now, bearing in mind, right, actually, I'll leave that to the end to summarize the entire conclusion of it all. But yes, it's going to be very interesting to see what the community says. I'll put it like that. So guys, I'll see yous at the end of the video. Oh, not at the end of the video. I'll be joining you in post-commentary very soon. See you in a bit. As an extra note, guys, I didn't use any of the USG armor sets because the Xbox can't get access to them, so it would be kind of unfair doing it if I had USG, because that means it's PS4 strictly. And the Nergigante bow and the Xeno'jiiva bow were not included in the testing either due to the fact that they don't exactly have a high enough element to take advantage of critical element. Okay guys, so we're going to start with the Valbo, right? Now, the Valbo is considered to be one of the better weapons, one of the best weapons, so to speak, in Monster Hunter World, especially for the bow class, right? So, let's take a look at the numbers, right? Because I ran the speedrun combo. You've already seen the builds, same builds as I've always been running, as I showed you, right? So, for the Valbo with no coatings applied at all, you get 468 damage whenever you don't crit. After there's if all your arrows don't crit. And you get 645 damage if all your arrows do crit. So your AR is sitting in around that range, so you are. And then if we apply the power coatings, now the power coatings is where the damage really starts to shine, right? So the same combo again gives us 568 damage if everything doesn't crit, and 787 if everything does crit. Now this damage is quite insane, I must admit, it is quite insane, so it is, but as said, power coatings are limited, so they are, and you have to keep that in mind during all of this testing, especially whenever you're in the middle of a hunt. Power coatings are in limited supply, so they are. Okay, on to the Jobo, the powerhouse bow for dragon, and I'm genuinely not joking you on this one. It is genuinely the powerhouse dragon bow, even with its negative affinity, but with the amount of raw and the amount of elemental it has. It's pretty damn scary whenever you start looking at these numbers, because I tested it and I retested it and I tested it over 3 creatures, and trust me, the damage is pretty damn stupid. So the damage is, bearing in mind that we are still running the speedrun combo, this is the Jobo with absolutely no coatings on it, we get 485 damage while not critting. Now that there is pretty damn, that can be deceptively powerful at times, so it can be, and that amount of damage in the side of someone's head is not going to do them very much good. Then onto the power coatings, same combo again, of course, the speedrun combo nets us a 601 damage if everything doesn't crit, and an 809 damage if everything crits. That is a whomping, what? Well, it's a whopping, quote unquote, 22 points higher than the Valbo. So it is. So the Jobo's stronger than the Valbo in this build. That's, I'll be honest, guys, didn't really see that one coming, even with the build comparisons, and yeah, it's one of those things that's just, I think 90% of people probably expected that answer, but these are just what happens. And now we move on to possibly one of the more overlooked bows in the game, which is the Dragon Bone bow. Now, this weapon is as of right now, is now my new favorite Dragon Bone bow book, or is my new favorite Dragon bow due to the sheer fact that it is just simply good and it fits my playstyle down to a T. So let's get into the damage because there's not really all that much to cover, right? So you've got the Dragon Bone bow, no coatings, because if I went to do the close range coatings, that just adds in a whole new layer of shit. So basically, if we run the speedrun combo, we get 500 damage on a non-crit and 688 on a crit. Yeah, that is quite literally it. Yeah. So basically, as long as power coatings are not in this game, or as long as power coatings aren't, actually, give me a minute, guys. Need to breathe. Okay, guys, time for the recap. Right, so the Val bow with no coatings does 468 damage till 645, and with power coatings, that their number is then shot up to 568 and 787. For the Joe bow, or the Joe build, it is 485 per combo, up to 653, and with power coatings that number goes up to 601 till 809, and for the Dragon Bone build is 500 and 600 up to 688. Okay guys, so this means as it sits, the Dragon Bone build is stronger on a base playing field than the Joe build and the Val build. Now, in saying that, the only thing that brings those two bows above the Dragon Bone build is the power coatings. That's literally it. It's down to the bow itself, it's down to the power coatings, but I'm going to point this out as well, is the fact that if you look at it this way, if a power coatings gem ever comes out, then the Dragon Bone bow will be the strongest dragon based weapon there is, due to the fact that if we look at the Maz that we just looked at, then yes, if the power gems ever comes out, that's GG for them two bows. Okay guys, now we get on to the more interesting part, which is all to do with the beautiful thing that is called opinions. In my opinion, right, the builds that I have showed you today are not bad by any stretch of the imagination, but there's one problem with them, and they have absolutely no survivability to them at all. Right, you've got your base stamina and you've got your base health. There's nothing in there to increase your health or increase your stamina, right? And with the new Lunastra set, you get so many lovely bonuses out of it. At the same time, with Xbox not having access to the USJ armor, it's also problematic at the same time, so it is. But in the end up, it's personal bias due to the fact that I see the Dragon Bone bow being more viable on a critical element set with survivability added in, other than the other two bows. Now, the reason why I come to this deduction is because the way that it mostly works, really, the Dragon Bone bow has higher element than any of the other Dragon element bows, which means it takes the greatest effect of it. Okay, yes, the other two bows may have power coatings, which I suppose if you dropped out the critical element, the power coatings might keep it sort of level with it. But due to the fact of consistency, I just like the Dragon Bone bow. It feels more consistent in my opinion, because whenever I'm looking at it this way, right, the Dragon Bone bow and the Val bow are very tight in my opinion because of the way that they can be augmented. The problem with the Joe bow is you have to put an awful lot in to try and get that affinity down, or get the affinity up, so to speak. So you do, and once you get it, well, hang on, we've got the Behemoth armor set coming out soon, so there's also that. So there is. It might come with critical element as well, just to balance out everything. That'll require more testing, and I'll have to redo a couple of my weapon reviews, even though I've only done like what, 1, 2, 2. I did have a third one planned. I hadn't got around to doing it yet. So I did. So with there will be updates, but as it sits, the way that it just get in there and get the job done, the Joe bow wins. In terms of just sheer raw power, the Joe bow wins. And I can't argue with that. The Joe bow is sheerly that powerful. But as I said, these builds are very specialized glass cannons. They're not built for survivability, so they're not built for long hunts. which is where the problem comes in. What if you're up against 3 or more creatures? You know, it doesn't balance out. Plus, with only just those 50, you've only got 50 power coatings. So the minute that you run out of those power coatings, you lose your damage. And the minute that you lose your damage is the minute that the Dragonbone Bow charges ahead. Okay, guys, so basically putting it short, if you're looking sheer, raw, burst potential, the Joe Bow wins. The Joe and the Val Bow will win over the Dragonbone Bow. But if you're looking pure consistency with damage over long hunts, the Dragonbone Bow wins. In sheer consistency, the Dragonbone Bow wins. And I know a lot of people are probably going to decapitate me for that, but unfortunately, I can't really do much against it. It's just the way that I see it, so to speak. So guys, I hope you have all enjoyed. Please like, share, and subscribe. And guys, I shall see you all in the next video. Goodbye.